Championship and the magnificent Sid Waddell Trophy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's all brought to you by the Professional Dance Corporation. And now, 96 players came and 2 remain, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world. It's time to meet the finalists. Would you please welcome the winner of the UK Open, the reigning 2-time German darts master, Scotland's World Cup champion, and ladies and gentlemen, a 2-time World Championship finalist. Let's get this party started! Ladies and gentlemen, from Vlijmen in the Netherlands, the winner of over 130 PDC titles, he is the world #1. Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning and defending 3-time champion at the world.
Great atmosphere, should be a terrific fun. Peter Wright was a bit emotional on the way up there. Right back the tears, Wayne.
He was, yeah, as he was just kind of kissing and cuddling his family and Joe. Yeah, we know he's that type, isn't he? But he's got to watch that. I don't know if you remember I'm not saying it was the last time, but certainly a time that comes to my mind was when he played Phil Taylor in Phil's last World Match Play. He got really involved there. Michael just kind of doing his job. This is his 5th final in 7 years. It's the World Championship final. Peter's got to compose himself. He's been in one before. I'm assuming he will. He'll be just fine.
Think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll play the same as he has throughout the tournament. But I expect Michael to up it. I mean, he hasn't played like he can throughout the tournament, but that's why I think he'll play his best game tonight. I think he edges it for me.
Michael van Gerwen normally starts quickly. Will he tonight again?
Well, it's a difficult question because this tournament you're kind of saying no, but last time they met, he raced into a 4-0 lead. But I think Peter Wright is a better player now than he was then.
Fantastic final to look forward to. Let's get them running. John Parr and Rod Stood in commentary.
Thank you, Dave. Good evening. Yes, exactly 6 years ago to the day they met on this very stage, at this very stage. Michael van Gerwen claimed the crown. One of 10 times he's handed out heartache in big major finals against Peter Snakebite Wright. So will the agony continue, or is this finally the night when the snake bites back? Biting back early. Snappy start from Snakebite. Always on this occasion a great pleasure to have a man who's enjoyed the ecstasy of World Championship victory on 3 occasions, the great John Parr. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Rod. Yes, and it is really a delightful prospect, this final. 6 years on from when they last met on this stage. And Peter Wright registers the first 180, and he's done that more than any other player in this event by far. And even has the best per leg rate by far. But he needs an outshot now. He's been pretty good on the doubles. Won't get a chance this time. In fact, they've both been about 44%, Rod, for the tournament.
Say about John, 43.53% Van Gerwen, 44.39% Wright. Let's get it right. Tops here for Wright, John.
He could get it right. Double 10. Well, that's a useful marker.
Well, a leg that the challenger was in control of can now be lost. And he's lost in 14 darts. And Peter Wright raises an eyebrow. He bossed that leg from the start, but not until the finish. There was no finish from Wright.
Yeah, and, early on, I just remembering back in this event, and when Michael was sort of off a bit, when he started clicking back in, when he started getting those 2-dart combination finishes. Those are very big for Michael, and a chance to break there and get that first leg and to key off in that way. I think that's something that builds his confidence up, and it's an opportunity that Wright might regret having given.
Peter Wright has won the opening set of all 5 of his matches so far. Michael van Gerwen has dropped the opening stanza twice against Jelle Klaassen and Darius Levenhauskas. He's got the early break here. 57. Despite not firing on all his cylinders by any stretch of the imagination, and in fact he's rather handed the darts to Wright in this leg.
Who pretty much outplayed him, with the exception of missing double in the first leg. Is it a second 180? No, and he might have needed a 180 there. Michael could somehow summon a 6 darts from 266 performance. 59. He can't get to a finish, so no.
Well, big outshots have also been a speciality of Snakey in this tournament so far. He's had 15 ton-plus finishes. Well, he'll be content with that, John, won't he, to leave tops? Although, of course, tops was what started the downward spiral at the back end of the last leg.
Okay, it happened. It's one leg. This is why it's important that he came back right now, get it now, and that's irrelevant. Fresh start. Breaks straight back, now has the throw, and now he can fire off that scoring if it continues and bully Michael van Gerwen a bit here. I mean, the topic of scar tissue for Peter Wright came up in the open of the show, and I was thinking, you know, there's a point where you're so scarred, you're not afraid of getting cut anymore. And I think Peter might be at that stage.
134.
He started well, hasn't he? All he's done wrong so far is miss those 3 at double in the opening leg, which cost him the leg, but he's bounced straight back, as John mentioned. The first set back on serve. players now, very early on in the piece, averaging in 3 figures. And Gerwen has never averaged under 100 in a World Championship final. This is 5th. 3rd in 4 years for the Green Machine.
58.
Yeah, and my perception is not on every occasion has he come out of the blocks firing either. He's worked his way up to it before.
87.
Well, if you were having a World Championship final bingo card, right in the middle would be Michael van Gerwen leaves 170. It's your banker bet, isn't it, John? He always leaves 170. He leaves it more than any other player on tour by some margin, but he doesn't take it out, and Wright wants 74.
So 20 after that 14. Plenty of room for tops.
34. Michael, you require 89.
So, well, the tops he missed, but it's only 1 dart, so it won't be too negative. Michael doesn't get the 2-dart combination, but maybe a 3. No. He did fire up for a treble double combination at the end of that attempt. It's a similar thing. Thought maybe he would get that. Now Peter coming back to this tops, and he's getting plenty of practice. He's earned it. Holds his throw, first hold of throw in the match. Now he gets a chance here. Try and break throw again to win the set.
93.
Well, in that previous final in 2014, where Wright was an unheralded underdog, world number 16, Van Gerwen was then the number 2 seed and the boy who would be king. Van Gerwen romped into a 4-set lead before Peter Wright had realised where he was. But in the end, he had 2 darts, Peter Wright, to haul it back to 6-5 behind in sets before he ultimately went down 7-4. So here tonight, looking to start far better than he did on that occasion, and has done so.
100. 100.
So far for me, Rod, this match has proceeded how you might expect it to, given the stats of the tournament.
Well, that's a fascinating point, John, isn't it? Do you believe the stats you've seen within this tournament, or do you believe the overall seasonal stats, where Van Gerwen has a far superior average of just under 100 to Wright's just under 96, and everything that Van Gerwen has done before, dismantling Wright on more than one occasion? He's going to come back here for 86 MBG to send it into a 5th leg.
Oh, a nice 3rd dart and a bull there.
86.
Pressures this 86 to stay in the set. Needs a bullseye. And he smacks it right into the cherry there. And Peter Wright was thinking he might get a chance, but he had to rethink that.
Well, big leg already here in that final in 2014. Only 2 sets went to a 5th leg, and Van Gerwen won them both. And in this tournament so far, Michael van Gerwen has played 13 5th legs, and he's won 10 of them. As he says himself, he does the right things in the right moments. Wright's won half his 5th legs in this tournament, so all those stats point to Van Gerwen, John, in amongst all the plethora of statistics you were bombarding me with.
Yes, and Wright holding his form, though, and that was the key point. Does he hold form under pressure in this final against this man in particular?
65.
And that's just barely acceptable. Doesn't need a bull in the finish, but Michael could have really punished him and failed to get ahead. He also has, well, the 170. Okay, did it need to be said? 2 treble 20s for Peter here.
No, he's desperate for a treble, otherwise he would have been under really pressure when he comes back. If he comes back, left a 2-darter, he'll be happy with that, but he won't be happy to see that. or that. The bullseye. The big fish was almost snared in the opening set to win the opening set. Good grief. Two for tops. Oh, he keeps his cool. Peter Wright keeps his cool. Peter Wright survives a scare on the bullseye. Remember, that happened in his first match against Malekdem. Survived one here, but he's taken the opening set off the world champ. Wright's up and running. 1-0.
Well, these matches, they inevitably have swings either way, at least 2 or 3 what you love to hear, momentum swings, for lack of any other word to describe it. But the dominance will pass hand, the baton of dominance will pass back and forth, inevitably at some point, at least once, probably 3 or 4 times over this duration of a match.
Well, you'd certainly rather win the first set than lose it, no matter who had the darts. Great stomach settler for Peter Wright, especially as he'd lost those first 4 sets against Van Gerwen in 2014. One of the finals you played against Phil Taylor, John, your stomach never settled, did it? It was rumbling away all night, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was quite hungry.
Yes. There's Peter Wright's second. Despite that beating by Phil Taylor, it didn't stop you beating him so famously and epically in 2003. And Peter Wright will be thinking, well, okay, he's beat me time and time again. He ain't going to beat me tonight.
Well, in that final where I ended up winning, I won the first 3 sets, and I think I lost the next 4. So that just shows when you're playing first to 7 sets that, in my mind, it's pretty rare for somebody to roll out 7. And it hasn't been so rare for Michael to miss double. He's 2 of 5 now after that double 6 miss.
Well, 140 was the shot that saved Peter Wright's skin against Noel Malekdem, but he's not going to take it out here. That night, Malekdem missed the bullseye for a 1-2-1, which would have knocked Wright out. And he took out the 140 to save himself. And the rest is history, and so is this leg for Van Gerwen if Wright takes out the 80. That was strophic from the world number 1.
That was ugly. With the 2 darts in your hand, you want to go for the bottom wire. You can't take a dart out of your hand. That was a little scary because it got near the treble, but it leaves him wide open. I almost wanted, because the way my darts flew, I wanted to be near the double wire so that on the top, so it's useful, but most don't. Van Gerwen was quite pleased that he got back for that double 6 and he didn't have to go for double 3 again.
Lost his score on the double 3 attempt, or after the double 3 miss. In the end, the 3 darts that he missed at double there haven't counted for anything. We saw a little bit of that in the Aspinall game against Van Gerwen, John, didn't we? That chances were being offered up to Nathan Aspinall, and he didn't take enough of them. There's one gone begging for Peter Wright.
Yeah, and against the greats, a lot of the time, that's all you'll get of those 1-darted doubles. That hasn't been so for Peter. He's done a great job of crafting opportunities. But still, it might in the end, when we look back at this night after it's over and say, wow, that was important, or that was important, missing those 1 darts to shut down the green machine. And more importantly, to punish him when he's had a poor visit. The prior visit, not very good at all, with 12 left.
Well, Wright's left 140 again, and this time he's got plenty of time to deal with it. 2 turns to deal with it, at least.
They're just getting a little bit edgy, annoyed as well.
Well, right now 48. 3 for 7 on top so far tonight. Will he choose double 16? I think he will. Double 16 it is. The set is levelled by Peter Wright.
But I'd say over the course of his career, that would be his favorite double. Whether it is currently, I don't know. Maybe it's tops these days. But over the course of his career, that's going to be a double he'll always feel at home having a chance at. Double 16.
Well, he pummels in another maximum. He's been Mr. Maximum at the Alexandra Palace this year, Peter Wright. That's his 60th so far. And as a sideshow, he's chasing Gary Anderson's World Championship record of 71 maximums in the tournament. So he's 11 behind that. But as I say, that's just a sideshow. May not even be aware of that, and frankly, who cares? He's after the World Championship. That's what he's after tonight. That's all that matters, really, for Peter Wright. Anderson's epic record of 71 is there to be beaten.
Yeah, well, I agree, Rod. But I'd have to say, I would think that almost certainly he'd have to break that record to end up winning this match.
Well, Van Gerwen is going to set a new all-comers record for 170 leaves. That's the third he's left. And he's missed the bull for it once. He took it out, remember, early in the competition. Wright wants double 12 for a 12-dart break. Yes! Now things have got interesting here, because Peter Wright has taken the first set and he's broken to throw for the second. The first eyebrow-raising moment, or in Peter Wright's case, the first hair-raising moment of this final.
58.
But, you know, back in 6 years ago, 2014, that was the first event where Peter started the outfits. I was playing in that event, and my first match, I see him in the room. He's in the same session. I'm like, what on earth is it with the trousers and the hair? And what's going on here? And he's still doing it. I'm not.
Well, it has been one of the most seismic shifts in a player's personality, really, that we've ever seen in darts. Since Peter Manley put the pink shirt on and came out to show me the way to Amarillo, and Peter Wright here on top in every sense, with an average of 6 points greater than Van Gerwen, and possibly here now just a couple of visits to the board away from taking a two-set lead in the final.
Oh, good job though by Michael. He actually leaves a finish. Needed all of that. Leaves 164, and it's the Southern fish, maybe.
Yeah, but he's going to have to take it out, John, isn't he? Because Peter Wright here is on song, all right. That won't go. Peter Wright tops now for 2-0 against Michael Van Gerwen to rob the world champion and shake the palace. Peter Wright wants tops. It's Peter Wright 2, Michael Van Gerwen 0. Is there an upset on the cards? Are we looking there at the next world champion, Peter Wright? Early days, I know, but the start could not be better for Snakebite. He's taken the opening two sets to lead the world champ 2-0. The Queen of the Palace has graced us with her presence. Good evening, Fallon. Great to see her back. She provided some right royal entertainment with those epic victories over Ted Evans and Mensah Silovic in that brilliant match against Chris Dobie. Here to soak up the atmosphere one last time for this year at any rate. Can Wright go on with this, John? He's got the darts in the third.
Well, as we can tell by his attire, he's plumbed in better. And I haven't seen anything to suggest otherwise. I guess this is the only way that is derailed, is Michael starting to throw near perfect darts for a sustained period of time. When I say sustained, okay, at least 2 sets.
Well, I mentioned he dropped the first set against Klaasen and against Labanowski, because he's dropped the first two here. Against Klaasen in the first of 3 in the first, well, what was his first game? It was the second round. He was a set down and 2 legs to 1 down as well, but that's when he flicked in the turbo, went a couple of legs in 25 darts to dig himself out of a hole. But right here is outplaying his opponents, playing to a really high standard of almost 104 average, in fact over 104 right now. Remember earlier on in the competition he had that 105 plus average against Luke Humphries. Well, Van Gerwen here now has just turned down a possible attempt at the ball. against a man who's taken 15-ton-plus finishes out in this tournament. We saw that go wrong earlier in the tournament, didn't we? Kim Huybrechts did it. Well, Van Gerwen this time, he gets it right. Took what could be considered a risk, but it pays off, and he breaks throw.
Yeah, and he also kind of feels a little more confident all around because he sort of flaunted something and he got away with it. So it's a double little victory for him there, confidence-wise. It was a gamble, of course.
100.
That enough to push Van Gerwen back into favouritism. He's up the ante here, Van Gerwen. He's up the scoring. Maximums in consecutive legs.
Well, yeah, threatening the sub-dozen leg here.
134.
Well, similar in a way to what he did against Jelle Klaassen when he was under pressure. Reacting to the pressure by upping his performance, well, to heights we've not seen in the tournament. An average in this set of 130 for Van Gerwen. Wright had an average set of 123 in the game against Humphries. Double 16, and that's an 11-darter from Van Gerwen.
Yeah, he's elevating at the right time, and well, we've talked a lot about that, his potential to do so. We haven't really given Peter a lot of credit. He's shown he could do that as well, and it's particularly with Luke Humphries. Tough customer there, very aggressive, positive, and Peter elevated his game to answer the challenge.
97.
And that wasn't the only occasion. I think they're both pretty good at elevating when they need to.
Well, Van Gerwen has run off 2 legs in a total of 24 darts there.
54.
And that's the result of that 122 average. He had a real burster of a set against Aspinall, but it was 110, and then the form just disappeared again. So interested to see if Van Gerwen tonight can sustain this savage assault on Wright that started at the start of this third set.
134.
Doesn't quite get to a finish, so Wright, the big shot and the big out, might be able to delay what seems a little bit inevitable the way Van Gerwen's playing right now.
Well, savage darts indeed. 12 darts thrown, 40 left. So it could be a 37 dart set for the world champion.
42. Michael, we require
What would be extra
40.
good is there's no intermission after this set. So after hitting that tops to absolutely obliterate Peter Wright in that set, he gets to stay on the stage, and not only that, he has to throw. Let's keep it going, Michael. That is exactly what you want to have occur when you're playing that well. And he goes straight back in that treble 20.
140.
Well, 37 darts, 3 legs without reply, an average of almost 122 when Wright was averaging 85 and was just swept aside. But now, at the start of the 4th, he can regroup. And that's the difference, John. We've made the point many, many times about set play. Wright got obliterated for 3 legs. It's only cost him 1 set. It's exactly the same if it had been nip and tuck and one of them had won 3-2. Or in match play, it would have been really damaging.
81.
Oh, disappointing last 2 in the visit. Michael won't feel threatened, really.
93.
Leaves 128, so a 140 from Wright. He might just get a chance to break the throw.
Michael require 100.
Third time he's left 140 as an out. Well, this is just absolutely incredible. You cannot believe what you're watching here. Van Gerwen is really offering up opportunities here to Peter Wright on more than manageable finishes. Double 10 to make him pay. And it's pay, pay, pay. As Peter Wright checks out the 140, the one that saved the It's Malik Dem has broken the Van Gerwen throw at the top of the fourth. John, what is Michael Van Gerwen doing here with these offering up opportunities when a bullseye finish is on the cards?
I think he's trying to show the brave face of somebody who doesn't care what his opponent does. He's trying to send the message, listen, I'll beat you even if you take that out and so-called punish me. It doesn't matter. I'm going to win in the end. And that's the message he's trying to send. Unfortunately, when he does get punished, it builds up Peter Wright's confidence to no end.
Well, in many ways, it's the physical manifestation of what, for example, he said in November before he played Gerwen Price. He bottles it against me every time. Price won 16-12. He said in the past about Peter Wright, he either bottles it or blows up and misses doubles every time against me. That's the physical manifestation of those comments, isn't it? Well, you won't win anyway. Well,
I guess, but you know, it used to be Michael Van Gerwen would win because he'd obliterate his opponent, not because he was waiting for the guy to miss.
Well, sure.
I think that whole way of thinking he's gone wrong right for a start. He used to delight in just obliterating opponents.
Well, every dog has his day. Does every snake have his day? Will that day or night be tonight on New Year's night? Van Gerwen, though, in front in this leg to break back, to restore parity in the fourth. He can't, can he? Can't follow 140 with 150? No, he can't.
I thought he was going to. I mean, it's such a similar shot. I mean, the doubles just went away. It's almost the same shot. But Michael dodged it there and right in the center of the double 18 to break straight back. And he's sort of at this point that you'll see doesn't matter. I come back right away. I make it right.
Well, that's a 13 dart leg, so his last four winning legs have been 3 of 13 and 1 of 11.
Maybe, sorry, Rod, but maybe Michael's saying, not only can I beat my opponent, I can beat the percentages. I'm that good.
John, you know the house always wins on the percentage. That's how it works, right? And there it is with Van Gerwen's fifth. Well, he's been really had a paucity of maximums in this tournament so far. 27 before tonight, but he leads the max count tonight 5-4. And his average is going north, higher and higher and higher. Getting very close now to that average of 107.79 that he posted against Gary Anderson in the final of 2017.
Well, he's ahead in the 180s, just at 5-4. And I'm imagining there's quite a few punters got a nice price for maybe Michael getting the most 180s, considering Peter Wright's success inside this tournament. That must have affected the odds pretty well.
Michael, you require 83.
Don't know anything about that kind of thing, as you know, John. 83 here, left for Van Gerwen, who's looking to go out on double 18 for the second consecutive leg, and this time it would have been for a dozen darter, but very much on the cards for another 13 dart leg for the champ. Well, what a spell he's put on here. Okay, drop the first leg of this set, but this is going to be 5 legs, 1 out of 6 in all probability.
36.
And it is in 14 darts this time. What a terrific turbocharged assault from Van Gerwen.
Yeah, just driving that average upwards as well.
40.
The average only is a reflection of the fact he's taking control of the game, but set isn't quite over yet. Well, with that sort of punishment of a 40 with a 180, maybe the set is over.
Well, it's like going back in time by the Tungsten TARDIS to when he was the Tungsten Terminator in 2017 and he swept everything aside. That was the year with that epic semi-final against Barney.
57.
And the final average, as I mentioned, was 107.79. Tournament average was 106, just ludicrous standards. Well, this is the kind of play we're seeing now from Van Gerwen in these last 2 sets.
Well, just seems susceptible. These little blips at one point or the other. Of course, he leaves 170. But he could have been better, really. And Peter at 2-2-1 to try and keep the set going must think, okay, yeah, if I get a decent score, I have a chance. And he does. He does just that.
A fourth attempt at 170. A fourth unsuccessful attempt. Seen 8 in the tournament. One apiece from these two Arrowsmiths. Now then, Wright has been on the wrong end of a caning for the thick end of 2 sets, but he can level this set. It would be improbable, but he's done it. Kudos. Now Peter Wright. He's been on the ropes, being knocked about by Van Gerwen. Can he come off here and land the blow that wins this set? Not if this carries on.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to break a guy in the 5th leg of a set where he's averaged 110. It's an open with the 180 is part of that, but that's a tough ask. He just has to be resilient here. And that's enough to say, okay, I'm in the picture somehow.
It was almost on. It was almost on. We've seen one in a final before. Adrian Jackpot Lewis on the way to beating Gary Anderson back in 2011. Important thing here, the most important thing is that Van Gerwen levels the match. He dropped the first 2 sets. He's on the brink of leveling. Well now, John, 140 here, 180?
Yeah, it needs a 180, really.
177, do you?
171 works. 102, why not? But Michael has a decent opportunity with a 1-2-4. Needs treble 18 and a bullseye to level everything.
Well, Van Gerwen has hit Wright with everything, but Wright can still take the set and take a 2-set lead. Treble 14 or bull. Oh, tops now. Huge dart. Oh, and he just couldn't get it there.
It's awfully good looking, though. It's double 8. It's 2-2. Michael Van Gerwen gives a big celebration. He would have been a little anxious when he saw that darts going at tops to go down 3-1, but that's not what happened in the end. He cleans up well. MVG, the green machine, is back level.
Last set shootout. There have been 4 PDC finals in the 20 played. They've gone all the way to a final set. You remember one of them very well, John, don't you?
I do. I was just happy to win 1 set. Let alone the match. After the previous 2 years, I lost 13 sets and won none against Phil Taylor in 2001 and 2 in the World Championship playing.
Yeah, there have been 3 whitewashes in finals, so we will not be seeing one tonight. But Van Gerwen has really upped his game. He's brought the heat, he's brought the A game, blocked it out of the top draw to come out firing, and if he carries on at this pace, Peter Wright is going to do well to hang on to him. He did well to hang on to him that last set and had a dart to win it.
Yeah, you know, because the 3rd set, Michael was also very dominant, and Peter didn't really get in there, and he started the 4th set. Well, Michael did, but Peter bounced straight back into it and made a competitive set out of it, despite the fact of how well Van Gerwen played. So I think that tells us a lot about his resolve in the match.
What sort of mood is Van Gerwen here? He wouldn't be 1,000,000 to 1 that he goes straight to the bullseye. 18 for double 16. For a 12 darter. In he goes. He's playing well all right now, isn't he? He is absolutely firing on all cylinders now. A 12 darter. He had an 11 in the 4th set. 3 13 darters in and amongst.
There's no way around it, but Peter Wright has helped him to play better by showing him he must. And he still is giving him that message. He said, you better keep it up, Michael, or I will catch you again.
84.
Well, we had Michael hit the first 5. Can Peter get the first 6 into a perfect game? Yes! Michael wants a 137 maybe? No.
Well, we've waited 4 years for one at the Worlds and 9 for one in the final. Peter Wright wants treble 19 to offer up the chance to throw at double 12. We've seen double 12 missed 3 times for a 9 in the Worlds this year. Can Van Gerwen take the leg though? Double top. Wanted 2 lots of double top.
97.
Well, you've been on a 9-dart leg, the 7 darts, and now you're under pressure to take out 32. Who takes it out? A 10-dart leg, magical stuff.
Third leg, Peter to throw first. Game on.
Just standing up to the assault of Michael Van Gerwen and saying, listen, I can do that too.
And that has great significance because it came off the bat, as you were alluding to, John, with a 12-darter from Van Gerwen. That's like, well, you carry on and I'll keep giving you back. And how will that affect Van Gerwen in the end, I wonder?
57.
What was I saying just earlier in that leg? To me, it's making Van Gerwen play better. So I think they both have to play better and better as this match goes on. It's great for us watching this because
83.
the standard just cannot afford to let down on either side. You see, both around 105, well, 106 there now, and 104 for Wright. Excellent standard, and as good as we've seen at this World Championship, fittingly in the final. So
100.
that's what you want from a tournament.
Oh, a 9th maximum here, or even a 16th 140. Gets him down to a finish, but see how well they've been playing since the 4 sets started, both of them simultaneously. Of course, Van Gerwen had averaged 120 odd in the 3rd set without any kind of resistance.
Michael, you require 164.
Well, go for the 20s that time. Well, you know what? Peter right now with the 1-2-4. This to hold though. Michael sitting on double 16. Pretty vital. Treble 18. Just off into the 1s. Huge moment now for Michael again to break.
25. Michael, you require
Yeah, break upon
32.
break. Upon break?
Peter requires 99.
Well, 99 has never been the easiest of finishes, but nice to get a chance at all, I would imagine, for Peter right here. Well, it's still on 78, 54 for 24.
Yeah, you just, it's implausible. Michael missing 2 visits with 32 left. Double 8. Double 4 for the incredible.
Well, implausible, John, but not impossible.
You require 40.
Right, tops.
Good
Well,
shot.
that is a leg that he never thought he would win until he did.
The level of play that Michael Van Gerwen's had over the last 20 minutes at least, for him not to have the focus to have 6 starts at the easiest doubles on the board, it's unbelievable.
They all do it occasionally, and we all remember it when they do. Van Gerwen missed half a dozen to put Rob Cross out, remember, in the semi-final. Peter Wright missed half a dozen, the double 16 and double 8 to beat Van Gerwen in the Premier League final of 2017.
34.
Will we remember those 6 darts that Van Gerwen just missed at the end of the night because they've become so significant, or will they be just lost in the dustbin of darting history because Van Gerwen will win anyway?
Well, that's tall order at this point, really, because he's trying to hold his throw to get a chance to try and break throw to win the set. So Peter
34.
is really in a good situation here, although he's far behind in this leg. He could catch up, keep the pressure on. The man just missed 6 darts at double. If you pressure him, you might get a chance.
Well, he's going to get a chance here off the back of the 7th maxi at 149. He's had a 140.
119. Who do you require? 149.
Can't go, and now he's relying on Van Gerwen missing again. At least one dart at double and possibly two.
53.
Just missed 6.
Who requires 69.
Is he going to miss a 7th on the trot?
37.
He is.
Who do you require?
And his dexterity on the doubles has deserted him. And right now is a dart away from regaining the lead. Peter Wright leads again in the final. Snakebite strikes back. Van Gerwen recovered from 2-0 behind to level at 2 apiece, but the champion is behind again now. He's dropped the 5th set, and Peter Wright now is almost halfway to the winning post. He leads Van Gerwen 3 sets to 2. John Part has departed. Wayne Mardle is here. Good evening, Wayne. You've enjoyed that, haven't you? You're purring about the standard of play. It's been brilliant, hasn't it?
It really has, yes. Fascinating as well. So difficult to tell who is eventually going to lift the Sid Waddell Trophy.
Game on!
Loads more darting drama to come. Brilliant standard. Both players punishing the mistakes that their opponents making.
Peter Wright with 8 maximums. Michael Van Gerwen has had 8. He's had 9.
Oh, just a couple of legs ago, Peter Wright. 180, 180 at the 60. They really are giving that segment a real bashing, aren't they? Unable to stay straight and leave his favourite finish, the 170.
He's already done 4 times in this match up to press. 100. Wright leaves 81 for another 12 dart or fewer leg.
44.
He had that magical 10 darter in the last set where he threatened the 9 for 7 darts. Well, he's at it now, not going for the bull, and this time he cleans up. Snakebite says you can have a taste of your own medicine, Michael. What do you make of all that, Wayne?
Yeah, well, you know what I'm like with board management. I don't agree with it, but I think they've both got to the point where they just think they're going to hit everything, and of course they don't. But it's a fascinating kind of way to think that it's right to beat Van Gerwen or to beat Wright, whoever is doing it, but they keep playing the going for treble route rather than the ball.
As Wright levels the maximum cap. Yeah, there is an air of a boxer dancing around in the middle of the ring with his hands down and his chin out, saying, go on, then have a swing, have a swing, have a swing.
Yeah.
You'll miss. And sooner or later you can get caught flush on the chin, can't you? But Peter Wright there landed the big blow on 81 for a dozen darter and has really come out firing for another repeat. This could be the same.
81 after 9 again.
140. Who do you require?
81 in the first leg of this set, and again double 12. Absolutely world class.
This is dream darts from Peter Wright, the man who's had nightmare after nightmare after nightmare against this nemesis in green. 10 times in big TV finals he's turned up to play, and 10 times he's gone up home with the runners-up check.
100.
Is this the night when it is all right on the night? Well, in this set it's all right.
He kind of gave away the third set, didn't he? Peter Wright, he's been absolutely sublime apart from that third set. Average 101 in the first, 109 in the second, and then just 85. But Michael was more or less unplayable in that third set.
80.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Van Gerwen ran that set in 37 darts flat.
Have you ever run a leg in 37 darts, Rod?
Struggled to win a leg in 37 minutes. Talking of time, it's been Wright who's been on the hockey for such a long time in this tournament, isn't it? 5 hours and 47 minutes, 2 hours 10 more than Van Gerwen, and he's thrown 563 more darts than his opponent.
57.
Will that become a factor as the night draws on?
And he has a more methodical way of playing as well, doesn't he? It's slightly more taxing for him because he does have to concentrate for longer. But he did say in his pre-match interview that Michael Van Gerwen has never beaten me when I've played these darts.
58.
Well, it hasn't been a flashy leg with all the fireworks, but Van Gerwen looks like posting it to stay in this sixth set.
Michael, you require 40.
Doesn't want a faff. Faff.
Well, that is 3 occasions in the last 4 legs when Van Gerwen has had 3 in hand and a double and bodged the lot. Tops then for the set. Peter Wright now leads Michael Van Gerwen by 2 sets. 4-2. He's broken the Van Gerwen throw on 4 consecutive occasions.
That's twice now that Peter Wright has wanted 80 with 3 in hand and has clearly gone big 20, big 20. Taking the wayward dart more or less out of it. Just wants to get a poke. And on that occasion it worked.
Well, Van Gerwen has missed 19 darts at double to Wright's 10. And 10 of those darts that Van Gerwen has missed have come in the last 5 legs.
And there we have it. There was a point when Peter Wright was outscoring Van Gerwen, then vice versa, but that's the tale. That's the story right there. Fantastic from Wright in the biggest match of his life.
Well, Van Gerwen knows all about finals, World Championship finals, where the world's top Arrowsmith, the world #1, has come from 2 behind because he was twice 2 sets in front against Phil Taylor, wasn't he?
Yes.
In 2013, and the power roared back.
Yeah, darts to go 5-2 up.
He did.
Michael Van Gerwen.
130. Michael requires.
Oh, what a set-up shot.
Staying there. 7-7.
120.
He liked the lie. It was the right thing to do. Just wanted to get a shot at double. Did, but didn't hit it. Right for another leg.
Well, we're getting very close to the point now where you can say that Van Gerwen's in trouble, despite the way he's playing here.
77.
His scoring at times has been nothing short of sensational, but his finishing at times has been nothing short of mediocre.
Peter won the 5th set, won the 6th set, and he's won the first leg of this 7th set. He's a man on the up. He's playing better than his opponent.
The doubles tell their own story.
Yes.
And Wright has romped through 7 consecutive legs of darts, including 4 breaks,
yep,
with an average of around 110 over the period.
So 177 and 180 in this leg from Michael Van Gerwen. These are the legs he now needs against the throw.
96. Michael, we require 46.
Got to get breaking. Hold, then break.
Game sharpness.
Fantastic 11 darter from Michael Van Gerwen. But
third leg, Peter to throw first.
Peter Wright, 4-2 up, and knows that if he can just carry on, hold in throw, he'll be fine. for a man that's had so many near misses. Mentally proving so tough.
Well, Van Gerwen has dominated the darting landscape like a colossus ever since winning the world final against Snakebite in 2014 to take the world #1 ranking as well as the crown. He's been #1 in the world for 6 years. That is a record. Bill Taylor's 67 months. 2008-2014 time was eclipsed, and he's never really looked like losing the ranking. And in the finals he's played in the world finals, since losing that one to Taylor, he hasn't looked like losing those either, has he?
No. But he is in trouble here. Pressure mounting leg after leg on MVG, and Wright just looks as cool as a cucumber, just ploughing on. Yeah, there's urgency in the Van Gerwen eyes, you can see it. Or is it panic? Worry? Well, Peter Wright hit a 130 in the previous leg off of the 170. Couldn't do it this time.
115. Michael, we require 84.
Bullseye.
Game
Oh,
shot,
wow.
third leg.
That is how you turn a set around.
Fourth leg, Michael
You have to find something special. Look at the reaction. That's relief, I assure you. What a bullseye from the reigning world champ.
Well, he had an 86 check out in the first set on the ball, when it was nowhere near as significant as the one we've just seen there, was it? That could be the biggest ball he's hit all tournament. Never mind the flashy 170s, that one there could turn this match.
And then started off 180 as well, Rod, just to ram it home. Peter Wright didn't really do anything wrong. He didn't take out the 130.
96.
The odds are against him to take out the 130. Fantastic. Arguably the best game
134.
of the tournament as it is. And we've still got more sets. Yes.
133. Michael required 53.
Tops.
Game set.
That is the 7th set. Wasn't a must-win set because Peter Wright has to get to 7, but Michael Van Gerwen, by taking that set, makes this very, very interesting. Peter Wright leads Michael Van Gerwen by 4 sets to 3.
Michael Van Gerwen's 5th World Championship final.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Peter Wright's one they met
first leg, Michael to throw
in
first.
2014. Every time he's played in a final, Van Gerwen, he's averaged more than 100, and he's going to do it again tonight. Which takes some doing.
37.
And before the tournament, or during the tournament, an average of only 99, so he really has brought his A game, and so has Peter Wright. And between the two of them, they've served up a New Year's night's treat.
This is what Michael has been alluding to all event, saying, I haven't been pushed, I haven't been pushed. This is what playing the player is. These two are not playing the board, they're playing the player. That's why they're both playing brilliant against each other, because they have to. No one plays the board. Just keep doing it, leg after leg, set after set, with the odd blip, the odd one, and they get punished for it.
60. Michael, you require
Breathing space here for Van Gerwen, just a little breathing space. Now this time he would have gone for the bull, I'm sure, but it didn't matter. He took out the 124 on double 11. His highest checkout of the match. And Wright's 10th maximum of the match.
Well, you said it, Rod, about Peter Wright reeling off 7 legs on the bounce. Well, that's Van Gerwen's 4th leg on the bounce.
Well, he was 7 trebles into a 9-dart bid in the 5th set. 20-second maximum of the match.
This is brilliant, isn't
Gary
it?
Anderson had 22 on his own, didn't he, in the final against Van Gerwen when there was 42. Mind you, we might not be far off that come the end of this one, because this is only the 8th set. Just to whet your appetite, this is the 8th set, and there could be another 5 after this.
Yes, please. 14 for tops. For 1-all in this set.
Game show, second leg.
Another 12 darter, they've just become commonplace. 12s, 11s, 13s. Van Gerwen won all his legs in the previous set as 11 darters. 33 darts in the winning legs there for Van Gerwen. He did lose a leg to Wright. That was when he missed double 7 for a 1-3-4.
Yes.
135.
3rd set and the 7th set, Michael Van Gerwen averaged 121 in them both.
59.
Premier League coming up. Players to be announced. You can rest assured you're watching 2 of them. But who will be going into that tournament as the world champion? That's the big question. Will it be MVG for a 4th time, or will the new name be inscribed on the Sid Waddell Trophy? Peter Wright.
Frightening standard. Magnificent from both. The toil, the hours, the weeks, months, years away from home leads to moments like this.
46. Michael require 148.
Kind of let off Michael there.
We saw a copycat 140. He had that against Malik Dem. He's had one tonight. Will we see a copycat 131? He had one against Price.
Yep.
The semi. No. But pressure on the 96.
You're not kidding.
Michael require 96.
He knows. Takes his time, Michael. 60-36. We may see double-double here. No, we're not. Double 18. Wow. What a visit that was. The outside wire of the double 18. He could not have thrown that better.
Peter Wright's 2nd World Championship final, but his 14th big TV final. He's won 1 and lost 12, and 9 of those losses aim at the hands of the nemesis in green.
93.
Some of them were absolute agony. Started in 2015, the agony World Series of Darts, when he left 90 for the match and Van Gerwen went out on 129. Then he missed 6 for the match in the Champions League, in the Premier League final, and then he missed 3 for the match 96. Just 2 months ago. The Champions League darts final, the agony. Will it go on tonight for Peter Wright, or is the ecstasy of World Championship glory just around the corner?
140.
4 averages each after 7, nearly 8 sets. Just keep hitting each other with everything. Will Peter Wright become the 2nd oldest winner of the PDC World Championship? Phil Taylor won it when he was 53.
33. Michael require 167.
For the set, not going to happen.
131. Peter required.
Double 16, which will make it 2 apiece in the 8th. Double 8.
Game shown the front flag.
Well, the previous two sets that have gone to a fifth leg have been split. But as mentioned earlier, Van Gerwen's record in the tournament far superior in these pivotal legs. 11 wins, 4 losses. Wright 9 wins and 9 losses.
Huge visit coming up. You try to capitalise so much that you make more of it than it really is, and you could tell there hardly any rhythm with a first dart from Peter Wright, and he didn't get any better. Oh, this is tungsten tension now. Look at them, look, they know. Oh, wow.
Well, that's effectively a leg leveller. How far in front will he be? Not as much as he'd hoped. 38 points, almost neither here nor there, but they might be if Van Gerwen keeps them there.
77.
Well, even the world's best players feel it. Van Gerwen feeling it big time in this leg. They both know the enormity of this particular leg. 5-3 to Wright or parity. Michael is doing something he doesn't normally do, and that's not look. And for the last 2 visits, he hasn't looked at what Peter Wright's been going for.
All right, still favourite for the leg and therefore for the set. Not anymore.
Wow. Oh, that's the dart. That's the dart that broke the sets back, in my opinion. You could see the freedom with Michael Van Gerwen after that.
Well, in and amongst a set or a match where there's been 10 darters, 11 darters, 12 darters, 13 darters galore, this has been a tension-packed leg. He's going to get 1 dart, and 1 dart only. And it's not enough. It's not enough. And this set, and a 2-set lead, is in the palm of Peter Wright's hand.
It certainly is, because of the 140 he replied with to Van Gerwen's 138. That is the set. Michael Van Gerwen didn't hit tops off of the 72 combination. Peter Wright hit the 32 off of the 50 combination. Peter Wright leads Michael Van Gerwen by 5 sets to 3. He's 2 sets away from winning the World Championship.
This is an alley-pally epic.
Peter Wright missed tops himself in set 4 to win that set. Michael Van Gerwen missing tops there to win that. So, returning the favour. But Wright just looked unfazed, unflustered. But that set really did get edgy. The most edgy, I think, that any player's been. Well, sorry, the pair of them have been at one time. And there we see
96.
Right now, favourite. Both averaging 104.
58.
Well, Van Gerwen now can only afford to lose 1 more set. Right. For all the troubles of beating MVG in big finals, if he can get this done, what a time. It's all about timing.
99. Peter require 136.
Staying there.
100.
Superbly set up. Sluggish from MVG.
78.
Sloppy
Peter
even.
required 36.
He's splitting it to leave double 8. Didn't fancy double 9, but he adores double 8. Right holds, on he goes. Well, Van Gerwen here now, throwing to level this set. Before this match, Wayne, He lost his own throw only 11 times in the entire tournament in 60 legs. Tonight he's been broken 8 times in 17 legs he's started.
Incredible. Incredible. Such is the play from Wright.
81.
He's right under the cosh here, Van Gerwen. Not looking comfortable at all.
40.
They're usually so fluent, Michael.
90.
Everything's just a struggle, and it kind of started in that last set, didn't it? That's 72. Has that changed everything? Well, now he's having a little stretch out.
58.
Well, he has an awesome record in finals, Van Gerwen. 35 wins, 8 losses. He's won the last 6. Daryl Gurney, the last man to beat him in a big final, 2018. He's still got time to produce a fight back, but it's starting to get tougher and tougher and tougher.
And obviously there comes that point when it might be too late. 42 maybe, staying there, double 10.
Game shot on a second.
Well, that's a 1-8 finish from Michael Van Gerwen. There wasn't much darting drama about that because Wright wasn't on a finish.
1-2-4 for Van Gerwen on double 11 at the start of the 8th set, and now in the second leg of the 9th, pops in a 1-2-8. Wright had a 140 earlier.
These legs are just becoming so important for Michael Van Gerwen. They really are. Needs the break.
But when you're behind, you're always under pressure, especially with the winning post coming into sight. And maybe that will still be Van Gerwen's trump card, that the winning post is coming into sight for Peter Wright. 13th maximum. But how often can you keep banking on a man missing match darts to beat you? How long can you play darting Russian roulette in that manner?
And he's averaging 103 here, Peter Wright. Relying on a man playing that well to miss. Good luck.
57.
Talking to himself. Showing very negative body language, Michael Van Gerwen.
60.
But a loose visit from Wright has afforded Van Gerwen the opportunity here to get the break, which would set up a set win. The ball! He wasn't leaving him a chance of 1-8 that time, Wayne, was he?
No.
Well, the MO has changed as the pressure has gone up.
Van Gerwen did this in the previous leg. The minutest of errors. Will it be punished? No, it will not. As he shakes his arm out. Nerves.
An unexpected chance for snake bite. Further away from the marker. And he bares his fangs now, though, doesn't he? Van Gerwen missed the ball for the 164, then 2, a double 8 on the mop-up.
134.
Peter Wright was emotional before he actually made it to the stage. If he does win this, how emotional will he be then? It's becoming real for him. 103 average, Van Gerwen 102 Wright. Stacked with quality.
94.
Both players averaging in excess of 100, and every set has been one with an average of in excess of 100. As this
123.
sustained excellence from the get-go continues. And Wright has pretty much led from Go. Will he be still in front at Woe? There's another one. He's 11th of the match.
Just when it was looking like Michael might have had some breathing space, it gets taken away from him. Wright stifling every move he's making here. Every time he comes to the board, Van Gerwen, there's meaning on everything. 42 for tops.
Well, he missed 102 to win the 5th set.
Yes.
Missed tops as it went, but
yeah,
he's still in front in this set, and he'll still have the darts to win it, even if Van Gerwen cleans up the 91. Treble 19.
First start was so bad from Michael, and he knows it.
Well, Wright to clean up 50-odd again. To win another set with 50-odd. It'll be the 3rd pop. Double 10. Oh, he's that close to going 6-3 up.
Tension's amazing. Incredible. Is Michael Van Gerwen going to get away with this set? Wright missed a dart at tops and a dart at tens to win it 3-1. And to move within a set of being a world champion.
One leg and one leg to decide. Will Peter Wright be a set away from realising his darting dream, or will Van Gerwen be right on his tail with the darts in the next set to level up at 5 each? That's the significance.
What a great response under that pressure. Giving away what advantage he had, and Wright just stepping back, recalibrating, calculating, thinking, right, okay, step in, punish. Should go upstairs.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
No further words. The only word. 130 plays 100. Wright will fancy that he'll get at least a pop at the ball, but only if he can hit the treble 20 with his second dart. He cannot. And Van Gerwen's whopping 3 treble visit has given him the chance. It's earned him the right to take on this ton.
Well, if he hits this, what a turnaround, and how. Tops. Double 10. Wasn't up to it.
Both players have missed darts at double 10 and double top to win the set. Oh, he's going to get another 2 here. Oh, he's up to it this time. Peter Wright is on the brink. Peter Wright is 1 set away from becoming the champion of the world. Van Gerwen has left the stage. There's no break here. Van Gerwen confused. Van Gerwen bemused. And really, he's pulled the trigger too quick there as well. He's wandered straight onto the hockey and started firing. He'd been well advised to just take a step back and get himself under control, Wayne.
Yeah, his composure's gone. He's really got to just take a second. After Peter's thrown these, just take a second and think, right, okay, look, I'm in this situation, it is what it is, but concentrate.
Peter Wright 6-1 on now to become the first real upset winner of a World Championship final since this great championship moved to the Alexandra Palace.
98.
Michael Van Gerwen had a dart at tops to win set 8. Michael Van Gerwen had a dart at tops and tens to win set 9. If they go in, it's a different story, but Wright is holding it together. when he needed to, and that 70 was absolutely sublime, wasn't it? To just work his way down like he did, to feather it in. Magnificent.
Well, so many times in so many finals, Peter Wright has been within touching distance of the trophy. And there it is, the Sid Waddell Trophy. See it. He's 3 legs away from lifting. 2 legs away from lifting it. And in so many of those previous finals, they were short course games in legs. Van Gerwen was right behind him in that Premier League final. He was 10-9 up, wasn't he, and got beat 11-10. So when he missed chances, Van Gerwen punished him, but this time he's so far in front, he's got to think he's going to get chance after chance.
And the horrible descriptive word that gets bandied around when Peter Wright is in a final that is a choker. He can't get them one. I don't think so. You don't get to this point by not being able to deal with the pressure. He's dealing with it.
And out of the blue, and on the brink of defeat, Van Gerwen is on a 9-dart leg. And because of Wright's dominance, that almost went completely unnoticed.
Incredible. But he's going to have to take the 1-4-1, otherwise he won't win the leg. Go on then! Double 12, 4-9, darts leg.
The 4th time we've seen it missed on double 12 in this tournament. It would have been a 7th televised 9-darter from Van Gerwen. What it is, though, is a bull for Wright, which would have taken him to within a leg of the title.
Wow. Wow, indeed. 10-dart leg for Michael Van Gerwen. Yeah, the ones that were missed previously, Nico Kurz, Adrian Lewis and Darren Webster.
Van Gerwen, who's had one at the Worlds and missed one, but missed 2 now on double 12 there, hasn't he?
Yes, yes. He was, of course, the last man to hit a televised 9-darter in the Players' Championship.
But even if he had hit it, I suspect there would have been 0 celebration, because he frankly couldn't care less about those kind of records and statistics. There's only one thing that matters tonight, and that is retaining his World Championship crown. The 10-dart leg has got him back in this 10th set. But can you say he's back in the match?
Well, he, like us, will be looking on set after set, won't he? Once he keeps Wright at bay, then he's within 3 legs again. And Rod, that was a break of throw. That 10-darter was a break of throw. The importance there.
Well, even if he wins this set, in the next set, Wright will have the dart, so Van Gerwen's got to find at least one break of throw there as well.
Michael, in his pre-match interview, said Peter gets chances and blows them. Will he? 1, will he get a chance, and 2, will he blow it? It's not a given that Peter Wright is going to get to the finishing line. We're just expecting him to.
Well, he's got another chance here to move within a leg with a break, and he would have the darts then. 76. Reduced to 16. To double 8. And Peter Wright now is in the position that everybody who's ever picked up a dart dreams of being in. He's throwing here to win the World Darts Championship.
And he starts with his 34th 140 of this match. Like you quite rightly said, Rob, every player that's ever picked up the dart has thought, right, this is to win the World Championship. Peter Wright is living that moment.
something right in this leg. He's had those chances before
96.
in big finals. There are no finals bigger than this. And he keeps finding at least one treble.
81.
That gets him down to a finish. A finish that he's already taken out in this tournament before against Sega Vasada.
57.
And Van Gerwen cannot hit big numbers. Wright just has to keep straight. And if he can pop a treble, he's going to be in such a good position. That leaves double 10 for Peter Wright to win the World Championship. And Michael Van Gerwen can't do anything about it.
Well, Peter Wright has missed multiple darts on multiple occasions to beat Van Gerwen in a big final. There's no final bigger than this. There's no title bigger than this. And this time, Peter gets it right. It's all right on the night at the Alexandra Palace. Michael Van Gerwen offers his hand, and in doing so hands his world crown to Peter Statebite Wright. And in the world of darts, 2020 is the year of the snake.
Peter Wright has been beaten by that man Michael Van Gerwen so many times. But if you're going to win one, Peter, you win this one. Michael Van Gerwen was gracious in defeat, as he always is. But tonight belongs to that man. It belongs to you for a year, Peter Wright. He can't believe it, what he should do. He has played the game of his life in the biggest match of his life. So many defeats at the hands of Michael Van Gerwen. But he hit that double 10 and he's overwhelmed by what he's just achieved. That was absolutely magnificent. The first world champion of the year 2020. Peter Wright may never ever do this again, but he won't care. It's all about now. The years of trying, the years of practicing, the years of being away from home have all come to moments like this. Peter Wright is the champion of the world. Let's go over to John McDonald for the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a moment we've been waiting for. It's our presentation party. Would you please welcome the chairman of the Professional Darts Corporation, Mr. Barry Hearn, and on behalf of our title sponsors, William Hill, the global brand and marketing manager, Charlotte Emery. Ladies and gentlemen, our runner-up receiving his trophy and £200,000, and it goes to MVG Mighty Michael Van Gerwen. Ladies and gentlemen, receiving £500,000, the incredible Sid Waddell Trophy. And ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time in his career, we crown him the William Hill World Darts Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Snakebite Peter.
Those magical scenes. Magical scenes. Peter, come over. Listen, we've spoken many times after finals and you've been the most gracious of runners-up. So it's a great pleasure to say this to you tonight. Congratulations, you're the champion of the world.
That sounds amazing, doesn't it? But, sorry, to Michael. The chances I used to give Michael, he gave me them. He showed a lot more sets. Michael's a fantastic player, but hey, that's a nice champion of the world thing.
Yeah! Listen, that was a final of the highest standard, of the utmost excellence, with both players playing brilliantly and multiple 180s, high finishes, 10 darters, 11 darters. Absolutely brilliant final. But coming to that final dart, that double 10, just tell us what's going through your mind there, and how did you feel when it went in?
I couldn't believe the first one didn't go in, or the second one. And I thought, oh, don't do it again, because Michael's quite easy to come back with 9 darters, 11 darters, and then just blow me away like he has done in the past. But, you know, hey, we've done it.
We know how supportive your wife Jo and your family have been. Very special for the family.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you in a minute, because we'll both be set off in a minute. Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. Michael, come on in. Michael, we appreciate your time. At this time, it's never the easiest moment to say something after you're a runner-up in a huge final like this, but just give us your verdict if you could.
Of course, I'm very disappointed, but what can you do? You know, I mean, everything I missed, every important shot, he took out. His finishing was phenomenal, and I only can blame myself for things like this. In the 5th set, I had 6 darts to break his throw, and if you don't take chances like that, you're not going to win, simple as that. But only that, the 100 finish. I had several chances to go in front of him or to take the lead. And when you don't take them against a player like Peter Wright, you're not going to win, simple as that. But I want to thank the crowd for being here, and of course it was a pleasure again. But I will be back stronger next year.
I'm sure you will. You almost had a 9 darter there as well, and I know that doesn't really matter in a night like this, because it's all about winning the trophy, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Of course, it's all about winning this trophy, and this year Peter Wright won it. Fair play to him. He played really well when he had to, and all the credits to him, because I think he played a phenomenal World Championship. Of course, he go away with a scare early on, but everyone does. So fair play. What else can I say? I only can put the blame to myself, and I need to make sure I do better next time.
Michael, we've spoken many times after finals. Most of them you've won, but whether it's been in victory or defeat, you've always shown your class as the champion, and we thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you, Michael. One last word for Peter Wright. Listen, Peter, I know you've told us this story before.
I'll calm down now. Calm down.
No. One last question. You've told us this story before. When you came here with your wife Jo in 2014, you said, we're going to give it one last crack, and if it doesn't work, I'll pack the game up. You got to the final and you haven't looked back. That story shows that you should never give up, should you?
You should never give up. It doesn't matter how many times you get beaten. You know, I used to get beat by Phil Taylor, Gary Hampton all the time, and then Getty Price. All these good players keep coming through. I'm thinking, all these players keep getting in my way. And it's like, but, you know, I've done it. But can I just say thank you to all my sponsors, Service Shore. Oh, my God, they're amazing. But, you know, sticking by me, guys, and thank you very much. And Red Dragon, they're amazing for putting up with me, with changing darts. But, you know, you found me the right dart now.
And you'll forever be announced as Peter Wright, world champion, and that must feel fantastic.
That's got a nice ring to it, hasn't it? Yeah. But thanks to the William Hill sponsors, Toyo Tyres, but most of all, thank all my family and Jo and Mandy, where I love you, and everyone back home. Thank you.
I'm not sure what.
Hang on a minute. And all you guys as well.
Listen, I'm not sure what time it is on